All right, part two of the Q&A session. Where was I? Hello, is there such a thing as a mnemonics dictionary for an array of languages? No, there isn't. Mnemonics, mnemonic associations are something that are very personal because you have to visualize it, you have to imagine it, and you have to, yeah, you, no, you have to, I mean, you could use some, in fact, I could create one, but it's never going to be as effective to learn it from a book of associations, from a list, than if you than creating it yourself because you you have different interests and experiences. You know different people, and different things mean something different to you than other people, right? If you've got names of people you could use, you have things that mean a lot to you that wouldn't mean anything to other person, and things that I could use if I created. In fact, I could create and sell one list of mnemonics for vocab. But if yeah, things my associations with my mental images might not necessarily mean anything to you. But people are lazy, so I might even create some lists and then sell them. Why not? Seems he just recreated Glossica, talking about the 2000. Oh yeah, my sentences. Um, yeah, again, Glossica didn't invent sentence lists. Glossica is good for listening and repeating, but yeah, it's not the best way to learn, to acquire vocabulary, to learn grammar, or for also for retrieval practice to work on your speaking skills. It's good for your pronunciation, and it's also good for just muscle memory. You practice repeating sentences aloud over and over, and you get your mouth used to speaking in the language a lot. But Glossica, no, I didn't. I didn't recreate Glossica. First of all, Glossica didn't invent list of sentences, right? So yeah, people will always complain. Whatever you do, they'll find something to criticize. Okay, user. Some people just show up as user instead of the real name. I don't know why. After you shared the 10,000 word list idea the other day, I got straight to work with it. I think in combination with language islands, it is gold. In capital letters. Yes, if you learn 10,000 words in context with all these techniques, and also a few hundred sentences worth of language islands, you're pretty much fluent. Okay. Listen to them. I listen and repeat sentences as an audio file to listen to passively while exercising today and to learn the vocab. I did exactly as you shared on the screen. Okay. What I liked right away was not stressing about the other word in the sentence. I may not know, but listening where the call welcome came and if I understood it. I realized that was focusing on that word and getting the reps in, I will acquire a lot of additional vocabulary. Exactly. From the sentence, the word is seen passively. Great addition to the toolbox. Um, Thank you as ever, AR. Is this Abdul Rahman? Yeah, it just appears as user IE3V something, but yeah, I know who the guy is. Yeah, so if you combine the 10,000 word list, so the 10,000 most common words, each one with an example sentence, you memorize the words one by one with associations, you read the list, you review it over and over again, you create you create audio files and you listen to them over and over again. And then you do retrieval practice, repeating the sentences aloud, but reading English and then trying to say them and then getting feedback. And you do exactly the same with your own language islands, around 1,000 sentences. That's enough. In 100 hours, you can learn all of that. And that's enough to be fluent. Yeah, you don't need 2,000 hours of watching some nonsense or anything like that, or to read I don't know how many million words. No, no, no. You can 10,000 most common words, 10,000 sentences. Yeah, each one with one word, one common word. I mean, 10,000 words, they're already not common, but you need a lot of vocab. 10,000 words will contain all the vocab you need, and some extra vocabulary in the sentences. A lot of it will be repeated, but still, and all the grammar as well, you learn it there, because that's a lot of sentences. And then your language islands are specifically for the situations and conversations you will have. What else? Why do you need Joseph asks, why do you need to learn words as fast as you can? Why such focus on speed? Because if you read fast, if you learn fast, rather, I'm pretty tired today. If you learn fast, you learn more in the same amount of time, so you get results sooner. That's it's easy. Yeah. If instead of 2,000 hours watching nonsense videos, you can learn the language to a good level in 100 hours, 200 hours, you can, first of all, save yourself 1,800 or 1,900 hours that now you can use for something else. Yeah, all that is time that you can use for something else, either for fun time or use it productively to learn something else, or for work, or to spend time with your family, or your hobbies or whatever. But that's also many months or even years that you get to use the language instead of waiting another couple of years to actually speak the language well. Yeah, so speed is important. Speed is really important, extremely important in language learning, in everything really. If you want results, you should try to get them fast, because you get the benefits sooner, so you enjoy the benefits longer, but also it's time you save that you can spend something else, you doing something else. Okay. Peter Müller says, what would you do if you were me? I've bought into the idea of doing only comprehensible input when learning German. I thought Peter Müller was a German name. Then, after a year, I entered med school after passing a language exam. However, I am still struggling sometimes with understanding lecturer or the news or formulating sentences, so I still have some knowledge gaps in the language. If I read something short, I can't summarize it in German, and often I find myself stuck not knowing how to phrase it in German, like asking questions or talking to other students. Yeah, you're still struggling to understand. So you've been doing lots of input, so you need to memorize vocab, especially at intermediate and advanced stages. It's going to be a lot of vocab that you need to learn, and only with input, it's going to be very slow. So what I recommend you do is take the lists and start memorizing. Memorize them with associations and with example sentences. Listen, read them over and over. Retrieval practice, and that's it. And also, yeah, lots of retrieval practice with complete sentences. Yeah, you get the sentence in English, try to say it in German, then get the answer. If you got it wrong, you say it correctly this time. You try with the next one. You try with the next one. Hundreds of sentences per week, and soon you'll make much fewer mistakes, and you'll remember the vocab that you couldn't before. Okay. Clickbait nonsense about dreaming Spanish being worthless. No, it is worthless. Why do you think that way? Why do you not value input? Because it's super slow. Input is good if you've got thousands of hours to waste. If you're a child, your time is not really that valuable. I mean, it is, but just you can play around with other kids who speak the language and you learn. But you don't have that time. If you're an adult and you've got responsibilities and you've got goals, things to do, your time is valuable. So getting results in 100 hours is much better than getting results in 2,000 hours, because you a save lots and lots of time that you can spend doing something else, and b, because you get results faster, so you can enjoy it quicker, sooner rather. I'm tired today. So you can then enjoy your results much longer, right? If you get them sooner. What's better, $1 million now or $1 million in 10 years? Now is better because, well, first of all, inflation, but also you can invest it, you can do things with it now. And if you wait 10 years, who knows? Okay, this is an interesting one. In my video, why reading doesn't work for language learning, the problem with comprehensible input. And there's a comment that says, when it comes to language learning or exercise or dieting, etc., for me, I find the best method is the one that I will actually do, not necessarily the one that is absolutely most efficient and effective. See, that's the difference between you and successful people. And let me explain. I coach a lot of high performance, successful people, business owners, CEOs, you know, you name it. And they all want results fast. They want efficiency. They want a good use of their time. Yeah, they want to use the time the most efficiently possible. This is why I always talk about speed, learning fast, using your time well, because I work for those people. That's the difference between you and them. For example, if the most efficient method is incredibly boring and unpleasant, I simply won't do it over the long term. I've devised some methods for language learning that I enjoy. They may not be the absolutely most effective and efficient method, but they do work and enjoy them. I think a method that you will actually do that is less ideal is better than an ideal method that you won't do. Yeah, that's the problem. And that's why all these things, all these worthless, input, comprehensible input, 20,000 hours of Spanish with Dreaming Spanish, and immerse yourself and watch a million videos and Duolingo, all that. So that's why all these things are so popular, because they're low effort, they're easy to do, but again, no successful people, you never see a successful person wasting their time with that. Yeah, your time is valuable. That's why you should avoid those things. Yeah. So yeah, it's doing something, whatever, anything consistently is better than not doing anything. But doing something that will get you extremely mediocre results after spending thousands of hours with it, is it really worth your time? You only live once, man. I listen to Dream in Spanish while I exercise at the gym. It has really helped me a lot, especially when listening comprehension. My speaking ability is also improved. I mean, if you listen to it in the gym, then it's not that bad, honestly. But if you just listen to that, no, I doubt your speaking is very good. If you only do that, if you don't do specific speaking exercises. And your comprehension will also improve slowly with this. Okay. Tom Barilla says associations should be supported by input. For example, if someone wants to learn 500 German phrases copied from YouTube, how can they get the right input? If I'm asking because the input should somehow mirror the phrases we want to learn. Yeah, you memorize the words the first time with associations, and then you review them with their example sentences. Yeah, input, but you do input the right way. You take 1,000 sentences, 100 sentences, then 1,000, then 10,000 sentences, with the example sentences for all the vocab you want to learn, and you read and you listen to those same sentences again and again and again. So you get 100 reps in total, 50 or 200 for each sentence. So you learn all of them, and then you do retrieval practice as well. So you learn them in context, you learn it through input, and with retrieval practice, SRS, spaced repetition, whatever you want to call it, you combine them all with mnemonic associations, but the right kind of input. If you just do casual input, it's going to take forever to, especially your active vocabulary. Yeah, your comprehension will improve, but your speaking will always be very, yeah. Just listen to Steve Kaufman talk. He's not very good at any of the languages, I think. He just can speak, but it's, again, language learning is not about memorizing vocabulary, and we should remember plenty of words to understand your target language. I've tried mnemonic and I could easily memorize words, but when I need to speak, my brain works slowly. It didn't work for me. We can acquire and absorb so many words naturally by reading, listening, and watching it in target language without memorizing. Trust me, it really works. There's another one from the Church of Input here. He contradicts himself as well. Language learning is not about memorizing vocabulary, and we should remember plenty of words to understand your target language. So, which one is it, mate? You need to memorize vocab or not? So, I think what we're trying to say is that, again, input is enough. Which, if your time is worthless, then yeah, input is enough. Just spend 2,000 more hours in the next language, and eventually in 10 years, you'll understand it, and then maybe you can start having conversations, and in 20 years be fluent. But if you want results, there are better ways of doing it. Thanks for the course. Underrated content, thank you. Yusuf said the best way to get views on a language learning focus channel is to go around and talk to random people and surprise them. Videos like Show Up, Oriental Pearl, and Lao Shoots because it's social, fun, and relatable. In the sense that it's all happening in normal situations we find ourselves in every day, like restaurants, street vendor, shopping. It doesn't seem like your style, but maybe there's a way to adapt that type of idea to your own personality. Like the Wouter guy. Wouter. It's a Dutch guy. He does challenges and travels around. Yeah, I know. That guy he speaks really, like, you can tell he's a weird guy. Just, I'm a weird guy in a different way, but he just looks really, like slightly autistic or something. Also, he just learns through, like, oh, you speak Romanian. I speak Romanian. I like speaking Romanian. Switch back to English. That's his knowledge of most of the languages he speaks, from what I've seen in the videos. Anyway, yeah, it's a good thing to. Yeah, I could try, but no, never in like white guy shocks British people speaking English or something like that, because I hate that kind of stuff. You can call my thumbnails, my titles, video titles and descriptions clickbait, maybe, yeah, okay, but not the. I hate that stuff, like white guy talks to shocks Chinese people. It's just not my thing. Um, Maybe I can just talk to, like, stop some people, ask them, would you mind if we record talking to you, and then yeah, maybe I can try that in Netherlands in a couple of weeks when I go there. No, in Belgium, actually. I'm going to Belgium. Remind me not to call them Dutch. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I would like to download the list of phrases. The link is in the description, mate. Mnemonics do work, but they're absolutely horrible and unpleasant. This method creates tons of unwanted associations. If I learn a word, I want to learn it clean, without annoying additional crazy pictures in my brain. Yeah, but it works. You remember the word. What's clean? Not remembering it? Eventually, if you also listen to the language and you read sentences, you see the word in context, you'll forget the association, the mental image most of the time, and you you will remember the word in context. But even if you remember the mental image, who cares? I want it clean. As long as you can understand the word and use it in conversation, what's the problem? Like, some people just complain about anything. Anyway, speaking of complaining, I'm quite tired and I'm done for today. This was a long day. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.